I first started woodworking, making drawer boxes scared the crap out of me, but I think I found a pretty simple process to make them. So in the shop today, I'm going to walk you through my very simple drawer box process. I start by setting the table saw to the depth I want the dados for the bottoms of my drawer box to be, and move the fence to 3/8 of an inch from the bottom of the drawer box, and make a simple kerf cut. But the bottom panels I'm using are 1/4 of an inch, so I have to make a couple passes, and it takes a little while. I'll make 4 boxes in this particular project, which means I have to put dados in the bottom of 16 panels. Unfortunately, when I moved the fence, I missed my mark by a tiny bit, so I had to use a little chisel work to clean that up. And then for the back of the box, I rip off the bottom portion so that the bottom panel can slide in the back. You'll see that in a little bit. And from here, I just make some marks for pre-drilling for some screws. I like to use my finger and my pencil as sort of a marking gauge, just so that I get consistent marks at 3/8 of an inch. I use a simple countersink bit and my drill press to stop block so the marks stay consistent, and spend a little while at the drill press making some countersunk holes. Then sanding, of course. I like to sand the project with 80, 120, and 180 before assembly, particularly on the inside panels, because it's a lot easier to do now. To assemble the boxes, it's a simple matter of glue and screws. Trigger clamp will hold the pieces in place as I assemble so that I don't have any slipping. I'm a little fussy about making sure my corners are perfectly square at this stage, so I'll get them all assembled and drilled. I just didn't show you putting the glue in there. I like to put a minimal amount of glue so that there's not too much squeeze out when the box comes together. It saves a lot of time in the back end, so you don't have to clean up all that glue squeeze out from the corners. And realistically with this sort of project, the screws into the plywood will do the majority of the holding power. Now the bottom panel will get screwed in, and I like this system because should the bottom panel get damaged over time or start to bow if heavy items went in, which won't happen in this project because they're just going into a bathroom, I have the ability to replace those bottom panels pretty easily. These drawer slides are full extension ball bearing drawer slides. You can get them online for a pretty reasonable price. First step is to take them apart, and then I like to mark a line for the center. In this case, I opted to put the slides in the center of the box so that there's even distance from the bottom to the top, and then I use a marking gauge just to indicate where I want the front edge of the drawer slide to go. Now it's just a matter of putting things in place, pre-drilling, marking for some pre-drills first, and then pre-drilling and attaching the drawer slides to the side of the box before moving on to mounting the drawer slide mating system in the carcass of the cabinet. These drawer slides came with some 3/8 inch Phillips head screws. Not my ideal, but they came with it, so that's what I used, and there you have it. The world's simplest drawer box. They're ready for fronts. I'll attach those once the box is assembled, and time to enjoy a beautiful sunset. Thanks for coming around, and see you next time.